Almost did it again. Shh. I was told by a subscriber of mine, or at least a commenter, recently that, why do you fucking yell at the beginning of your videos? I'm sorry, Hammer Win. That is your real name. Anyways, hi there, it's Timmy Joe. I'm gonna yell if I damn well want to. This week we're gonna be doing a wide range of older Nvidia products. I know I seem like I'm an AMD fanboy, but that is not the case. For quite some time I was super Nvidia, super Intel, and I had a lot of these Nvidia cards kicking around. So we're gonna start off with this beast. I mean, it has a horse with one of the 4 horse riding it. It's got horns. We're going to start off with this bad boy. We're going to talk all about the performance, show some benchmarks, and see if you should really pick one up if you can find one these days. So cue an intro. We're going to talk all about it. Hi there. Okay, so GTX 550. This is like the start, the 5 series, I'd say, of the really good run Nvidia started having with their graphics cards, where things are actually still usable today. If you have one of the later cards in this series, it could definitely be a decent budget option for you if you can find one for cheap, like the 560, 570, but I'd say the 6 series is where it really starts to ramp up. And then if you can find a 750 Ti for a budget like esports machine, that is definitely the sweet spot. But does this 550 still stack up in this range? I mean, it is from like 2011-ish. It's definitely showing its age. So I had this card and a friend of mine gave it to me, and I recently kind of sold a few cards on Kijiji in order to get some better hardware, some different hardware for the channel. But I benchmarked everything I had before I got rid of it in every game I could think of, and I put it in my Ryzen system. So the next 4 videos are all going to be on Nvidia graphics cards, and ranging from 5 all the way to 7 series, and they were all put into my Ryzen 1700 system, so there's no GPU or CPU bottleneck. It's all going to be CPU benchmarking, and whether or not you should put these in like a modern system, if you can pick them up for like a budget build, for a Core i3 esports build. So this guy here, I'm holding the box, so I don't have the card anymore, but I plopped it in the system. I ran some benchmarks before I got rid of it. Somebody was looking for a better video card for a older StarCraft game. Said their GPU died on the internet, and it was local, and I said, hey, I'll give you this card for 40 bucks. Being the nice guy, pass on the love, and I did plop it in a system. I wanted to see if it could really stack up and play any modern titles. All of the benchmarking I'm going to be doing was 1080p focused, because if you're not running 1080p, what's the point these days? Most people have 1080p monitors, 1080p televisions, and you're not going to downgrade to 720p unless that's your thing. Anyways, so first off the hop, I want to say this has really good cooling. I'm not sure what the reference really had to offer for the 550, but this had a DirectCU 20% cooler. It actually had some heat pipes. It was a pretty cool card, and cool meaning it was cool looking. It actually needed an external power connector, which is something in and out of the 50 series they've been doing away with. Like the 1050 series, the most recent from Nvidia, doesn't require a power connector. I think the 950 did, but the 750 didn't, and that was awesome. The 750, you could plop it in pretty much any budget computer, any like computer from Best Buy, and instantly be able to play some pretty good video games. This thing, however, it really showed its age. I was surprised. It played a game like Grand Theft Auto. It actually played it, but it has only 1 gigabyte of memory, although it is GDDR5, so hats off to that. But the Cuda cores, or lack thereof, is what really hurt this thing. This thing only has 192 Cuda cores. To put that into perspective, the 1050 Ti these days has 768. Even just the 1050 without the Ti has 640. And those cards run at like 1300 or 1200 megahertz, something like that. The 750 Ti ran at 1150 megahertz. It had 640 Cuda cores, so this has like 20% of the performance of the 750 Ti when it comes down to it. So it was really struggling. Now it played games like Rocket League and CSGO, games that are, you know, pretty much of that era, that esports kind of, no problem, but not a full graphics at 1080p, I'll tell you that. But would I recommend getting this card, putting it in a budget build? No. It's past its prime, and the only way is if someone gives it to you for free. I would recommend putting it in a system maybe for a younger kid that's playing Dota 2, or, you know, some games that aren't going to require Minecraft. It'll do Minecraft, no problem, but it does need an external power connector. You're going to have some sort of decent power supply. I have seen this plugged in with the Molex connectors that plug into a 6-pin, but you know, that does put extra strain on a factory like you know, POS power supply. But what we'll do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the benchmarks of all the games I ran through, and then we will come back for a conclusion. Shh. Okay, hi. So, GTX 550 Ti, you were fun. You were a good budget option back in the day. But I'm gonna have to bid you adieu. I don't care how cool your Asus box art is, because ultimately 1080p, you're not doing very well, are you? Now, I was impressed that it was able to play games like Grand Theft Auto. It could kind of play Fallout 4, but you are going to be struggling at 1080p. You're going to probably downgrade to 720p if you have this card to get any sort of playable frame rates at any sort of quality. And in my books, that's not great because, like I said, 750 Ti's, you know, they're circling around. They were sold like mad when they were, you know, when they were in their heyday. So they're easy to pick up used because they are starting to get to the end of their life cycle, and it will do a much better job, like probably triple as good as this thing. So yeah, double at least. I'm Timmy Joe. Should you buy the GTX 550 Ti? No. I would definitely wait for tomorrow's video, because some of those cards are definitely going to be worth it, some of the next couple cards. So if you have any questions about the 550 Ti, leave them in the comments below. If you like the video, like it, disliked it, hit the thumbs down button. If you think I'm crazy, whatever. If you don't like my yelling, hit me up on Twitter and tell me. I'm at WatchTimmyJoe on Instagram and Twitter, and I will see you in the next video.